Welcome back, guys. Eli Infante here with a puro lit vato photo shoot where I give you my insight and tips behind my photo shoots. Now for this photo shoot, I was working at the gorgeous location Azenda out here in Edinburgh, Texas, and I was working with the amazing model Priscilla for this shoot. Now before we start, I do want to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. Back when I first started this YouTube channel, I wasn't even sure if anybody was going to watch. Wasn't even sure if I was even going to get 10 views. But the amount of positive feedback that I've received, the comments, I really do appreciate it. And it's really motivated me to make a lot more videos. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and get started. The question I get the most on Instagram is which lenses do I use and which one is my favorite? So the three lenses I use are the Sigma 35, the Sigma 85, and the Canon 135L. Now keep in mind, all these lenses are Canon mount. I still use the Sigma MC11 adapter. I also bought the 35 Sigma used and also the 135 Canon lens used as well. The reason for that is I try not to be chiflado. I try not to be spending money. If I can get it at a cheap price, lenses are gonna hold up their value, so I don't really mind buying used lenses. Now, as far as my favorite lens, it's gonna be the 35 Sigma lens, and the reason being is that it allows me to capture candid moments. It's like my storytelling lens because I can really show enough of the scenery of the location. Because if I'm gonna stress out about finding locations in the Rio Grande Valley, I really wanna also highlight the location with the model. And the 35 allows me to do that. Additionally, it doesn't have that distortion that you might get from anything below the 24mm. So if I'm gonna try to get a candid moment, if I'm gonna wanna be kind of doing like a storytelling or show the full body, I'm gonna be using the Sigma 35. Another lens that's really great that I use in client work and in TFP work is the 85 Sigma. But I'm gonna probably make another video separate, guys, where I'm gonna talk about why I use all these lenses and the kind of work that I actually do with all three lenses. For this photo shoot though, I did use mainly the 35 and the 85, and then I did get one shot with the Canon 200mm, which belongs to my friend Roland. But for the most part, I use the 35 and the 85 for this photo shoot. So one tip for posing is to direct the eyes, especially if you don't want the model looking into the camera and you kind of want them looking away. One of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first started shooting was I would tell the model, hey, just look out that way, or hey, look at the edge of the light. And then the model's there like, wait, where do I look? And then what you end up getting is a big white portion of the eyeball here. And also the model looks confused. You want to be very, very specific when you're directing the model. And like I said, especially when you're having the model look away from the camera. So for example, if I'm going to have the model look away, I'm either going to tell her to turn the nose away from the camera, and I'm going to direct her eyes with my hand. I'll be showing some examples of videos in a moment, but I like to use my hands, and what I'm doing is I'm looking at her eyes as I'm telling her to look at my hand. I'm directing her eyes so that I don't get that white eyeball. Let's go ahead and look at some examples from this photo shoot where I didn't do a good job of directing the eyes and what I did to fix it. So now that we're in Lightroom, let's take a look at the eyes and notice, and let's compare and contrast a good example and a bad example. If I zoom in here in Lightroom, you'll notice that the eyes are a little bit too white. The eyes are looking too far to her left, and I'm getting too much of the white in her eyes. What I want to do is I want to fix that, and I want to address that by directing her to either look in a specific area or using my hand and then directing the eyes so that I can get the color in her eyes. This is an example of where I fixed the eye position, and I'm going to zoom in here. And you can see here that the eyes have now been fixed. I don't get too much of the white in the eyes there. This is a picture that is in my photo shoot. This is a good example of the eyes being directed. Let me zoom out so you can see the whole picture there. And let's take a look at a bad example of where the eyes are too far to the right. So here you'll see that here I'm getting too much white. Now keep in mind, this is subjective. I'm not saying that all my pictures are perfect, and I use this technique, and sometimes I might post a picture with white on there. But if I can control it, and if I am setting up a pose, I'm gonna try to get it done correctly. But sometimes there's obviously candid moments where this suggestion might not, apply. So one tip for when you're location scouting, whether it's a client shoot or a TFP shoot, is to find and search out for a spot that's small where it offers a lot of variety and a lot of little areas where you can get different looks. When I first got to Azenda and I saw the Japanese tea garden, of course it's gorgeous and it's beautiful, but the reason why I chose it was because it offered a variety of different looks that I could get from the bridge, from the chairs, from the walls there. And I figured, let me start off here so I can warm up as a photographer and also allow Priscilla to also warm up for the photo shoot. So I felt like that was gonna be a good starting point. So start looking whenever you get to a photo shoot, find a spot where you can get multiple shots and then kind of build up from that as the shoot goes on. All right, that does it for this video. I hope you enjoy these pictures from this puro lit vato photo shoot. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. And don't forget, don't be chiflado. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. video. Can't even load right. I'm gonna switch to capture one. Blah. Chale, vato. This is not even working, mira. I'm already ready. Todo el pedo.